Always make sure that everything's paid for, like especially major things, before you even close. I learned that right away when I did my first deal. I had a house under contract. This was a for sale by owner property. I have the buyer and I'm kind of helping the for sale by owner, and the AC went out, like the whole system, the HVAC and everything goes out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And they're like, well, I have a friend and he's licensed and he's gonna do the HVAC work. He's gonna replace everything, but you know, I'll just pay him after closing. And I was like, this doesn't sound right. I went and talked to my broker and she's like, no, like everything needs to be paid before closing, because like if for some reason that seller didn't pay the HVAC company, it would go back on my buyer and they would put a lien on the property. A contractor does work on the property and you refuse to pay him or you just don't pay him, and they can put a lien on the property. So like when we go to sell the property, if that lien is still on it, we may, like the seller or the buyer may be responsible for paying that off before they can actually sell the property. I got with the seller and I was like, look, we have to have this done before closing. So it's like the day before closing. I'm like, hey,
how y'all doing?
you know, we have to have this paid at least before we close in the morning. And they were like not very happy. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, you know, if something were to happen, I'm looking out for the buyer, because that's who I was really representing. We got it like paid, like literally like a few minutes before we closed, and they were very upset with me. It was a really bad experience.